I'm gonna pull us up, okay? Find something cool to listen.
Huddles hail high.
Times, there's gang initiation and stuff like that. And but it's a matter of circumstance that have.
A lot of that is true though, but law enforcement itself is not out there to go after a specific race. We're not. I didn't. A lot of my coworkers didn't. I mean, some aspects it does happen, but you can't hold a whole organization accountable for what one bad person does.
Oh no, and please understand that I'm making no affiliation in that regard. Like I'm
Word
just
has joined the channel.
all that I was just stating was that there are circumstances that I mean in a general instance, and I know I'm kind of walking on eggshells on some of this, but on a general instance is that we all just need to be human beings. And I mean, there are, but there are evil people. There are the good, there are the bad, and unfortunately, with the state that this country is in, it's basically it's a spark in a tinderbox.
It is.
And that's the unfortunate circumstance because there's then, and then that's what I said. There needs to be some compensation
Are we talking politics?
because on the one side they say, well, we're not being treated equal, and then on the other, we're saying, well, we're just doing our job,
Are we talking politics?
and they're not abiding. They're not abiding citizens, and
Whew.
and that's kind of the fine line. But there needs to be a conversation because there are, and I'm not generalizing it to the full populace of the police, but there are bad cops and there are good cops.
I will agree with that.
Right.
But that.
I'm gonna kick some ass. People are talking politics, and I hate politics.
Amazing, amazing cops that are out there that do really good things
Hi.
for their entire community.
Yeah, they're just trying to do their job.
Right.
Hi. Hi.
I mean,
Nobody
we're
can hear
people
me.
too. We make mistakes.
No, absolutely, and that's why there's, that's why I don't ride any group. Like I literally listen to both sides because I want to understand like where's the one group coming from, where's the other group coming from, and then I'll make my own choice.
Sometimes it's not even just a matter of choice, it's just a matter of having the conversation said. Like, and that's the unfortunate part is it stops being about the conversation and starts being like,
Huddles hail high.
Nice couple talking in and out. What's going on?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna kick some ass. Are we talking about? Really? We're talking about politics?
I thought it was just a general conversation, but
There's no general conversation about politics. No.
I mean, it's not politics. I mean, it is in a sense, but not technical politics. Just a debate.
Well, all I know is that my princess wanted to share some music with you guys.
You're breaking up.
yeah, I only caught a piece of that. I don't know if I heard everything there.
And I can barely hear you.
I don't don't know what's happening with my mic, but it keeps cutting out. I couldn't talk earlier. I guess I have to talk louder.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe it just auto mutes after a while. Because, like, you sounded perfectly fine there. We heard every single word.
Like you sound a little far away.
Well, let's
Maybe
try
that's
something
why.
else. Let's try to bring the mic closer by. Come here, Mikey. That better?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay. It's right in front of my face.
Perfect.
Where am I should be?
So what were you saying? I'm sorry, we didn't quite hear everything that you said.
Oh, I was saying that my princess wanted to share some nice music with you guys. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Does that mean we have to shut up now?
About politics, yeah. It gives me goosebumps and creeps.
It shouldn't.
We were actually weren't talking politics. We were talking social.
She's just uncomfortable with the conversation, which is the problem.
No, I there's nothing more that I don't like talking about. It's politics and religion.
Well, luckily it wasn't either of those topics.
Well, when I came in, it kind of sounded like that. Not to burst anybody's bubbles. We had fun in the raid. I hope everybody else did. I did. I always do. Who's farting?
Music.
I hear it. I don't know how you don't.
You'd have to turn up Groovy God if you did that. However,
I don't do that immediately.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's why I didn't hear it.
Because I was paying attention to the conversation that was happening.
Ah, I see. You like those kind of conversations?
Bite my tongue.
I don't bite. I don't mean to be mean about it. I just think it's a game time. It's supposed to have fun and, stuff like that. Talk about,
Having fun.
yeah.
But I'm also having an intelligent conversation.
Nobody says you shouldn't, but there's other intelligent conversations you should have or could have. Just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. You guys can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
how about them black holes?
Well, let's talk about some gloom then. How about that?
No, talk about that space thing. Space is good. Yeah, that's a serious.
The space shuttle.
Yeah, very serious conversation actually interests me. And I'm sure it interests a lot of people because we don't know where it's going. And I hope and pray, I swear, that everybody is safe after it, that it doesn't come down and hit none of us. It goes into a water, ocean, or it goes into a desert, or some shit.
The horse with no name?
What's falling?
No horsies around.
So there's a Chinese rocket that was launched to launch the first piece of the new Chinese space station into outer space. Unfortunately, when that was deployed, the rocket body was deployed too close to low Earth orbit, so it's retracting back into the atmosphere, which is due to enter atmosphere starting tomorrow. They don't know the exact time, the exact date, but they said roughly around tomorrow. Now, what I've also heard, is that rocket body should mostly disintegrate in the atmosphere as it plummets through at high velocities. Because honestly, it's traveling at 17.5 miles an hour. So, an object traveling that fast through atmosphere is going to heat up, and it's going to heat up with a lot of friction, and it should melt probably a majority of that fuselage. And it's a 100-foot length piece of fuselage. I'm not sure how wide it is, but I can guess that maybe 20 pieces that fall, but seeing that the majority of our planet is water, it'd probably be more likely that it will land in water.
Yeah. But on the off chance that it doesn't, boy, hopefully my karma bad.
I really hope that
Hopefully
it.
everybody has absolved, themselves of all sins.
But I.
So you're telling me I'm gonna have a rocket ship in my backyard no more?
Hey, it might be a new SpaceX rocket to get you to the moon.
Hey, there we go.
Everybody gets a personal one.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't blow up.
Well, they landed the last one.
But see, this is what I don't understand. Like,
That's the last one that blew up.
No, the last one, the very last one, SN-15, landed successfully.
where did that spaceship originated from? Like, where did China? So why is it the United States should be suffering? I'm just saying.
Because the Earth rotates, spins,
And
it all depends on the trajectory that it comes back in. And also it could hit anywhere in the world.
It's also see, and I didn't realize this, because I guess I don't know the science behind it, but our sun emits solar radiation. Well, as that fuselage is being hit by solar radiation, it's also making that's when it's so unclear to where it's actually going to land, because it can change, I guess, not the trajectory, but where it falls in our atmosphere. I don't know how that's all explained, but from what the story I read,
It depends. A lot of it is gravitational pull, depending on where exactly it exited and then where it's entering to. So it could be anywhere.
that's what's scary, man.
Hope they get China to pay for anybody's losses or damages.
that's not going to happen. I wish, but it's not going to happen.
I don't know, but that sounds scary, man.
I wouldn't be scared.
It's only as scary as we think it is.
Right.
Like Seymour was saying, like most of the planet's surface is water. The likelihood of it landing in water is much more likely than it not.
That's true.
Just playing hi-fi, lo-fi chill music.
I know she needs to chill.
Why, is everything alright?
Yeah, I think so. Just needs to chill music. Oh boy, oh boy. So what is everybody up to?
Healing with health thoughts at the
5
moment.
foot 8 inches.
6'5".
6 foot. Good lord.
You guys are so short. He ain't that tall.
Where's Shugo?
No, I'm like 5'11".
I was gonna say, you all shorties? Sheesh.
What are you, towering 8 footer?
I'm almost 5'10".
Lord.
I know.
I don't know, I get very intimidated by taller women. That's why I put my high heels on.
Boy.
Oh boy, oh boy. This headache is not going anywhere.
I can give you. So, you know the I don't know how to describe it. So you know where your thumb joins your hand, and there's that little piece of tissue there between your thumb and your index.
You're
You
supposed
can
to
rub
squeeze it.
that,
Yeah.
and that sometimes is a pressure point for your headache.
Yep.
And that would be great if
There's
I
also
didn't have severe arthritis right there, as well as inflammation, a really bad inflammation in my thumbs. So when I touch it, it feels like I'm touching a broken finger. Not just thumbs, but all of them. So yeah.
have you tried just taking an anti-inflammatory and see if that helps?
Oh, we tried everything. I've it's not much I didn't try. I'm out of my medication a little bit right now because I lost my insurance, but um, in the same time, we tried everything.
Do you have CBD oil?
No, I don't, and everybody keeps telling me I should, and because there will be less pain. Because all of my fingers are like that. No matter what I touch, um, it feels like you're touching it with broken fingers, and this is not a joke. This is not exaggeration. It's none of that. I promise you, it feels exactly like a broken fingers. So me rubbing that part, or even trying to squeeze a little bit because you're supposed to, um, not happening. I'm not trying to hurt myself even more. It just hurts really bad. Let's put it that way. It really does. Unfortunately, it's the way it is.
So what I do for my migraines is I'll put a cold pack on the back of my neck and one on my forehead. And that just makes it faster than any pill ever could.
Oh, that's interesting.
I also heard too something very similar to that, like a cold, like a frozen bag of peas at the back of your neck, and then you stick your hands in warm water, and that also does it too. Is that true?
I've never heard of that.
I thought that was one of the home remedies that you can use, like a cold bag of peas in the back of your neck, and then put your hands in warm water.
Yeah, I was told that too. For me, it didn't work.
I've never heard about the hands in the water thing.
Well, when you're sleeping, if you put your fingers in some water, you might have a hiccup with an accident.
Is that how it is?
You keep the bed. So if somebody has a long night of drinking, you do that and watch the hilarity that ensues.
Uh-huh.
I made 40. Oh, whoa. Almost there.
Hey, look at you.
Hey, you're playing a real class.
Oh, oh, yeah, real class, huh?
I just say that because I'm a warrior. Even though I'm playing a druid right now. I guess I can't talk.
The only thing I can really say about this is I'm playing arms, and I'm still trying to really fine tune.
David Fortune has joined the channel.
I'm really trying to truly fine tune the DPS rotation for this class. Like, I know that overpower is integral because that empowers Mortal Strike, or at least for the ability that I took. Oh, I didn't realize this.
Holy shit. 7.2 KD.
Look at you go.
channel.
Bye, Dan.
Was Dan the officer? Is that who that was?
No.
That's the thing.
That's
What's that?
Miss Lexi's boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been up since like 5:30.
Oh, jeez.
Interesting. Don Rose is bringing the noise back.
What?
Got an email. Think you can avoid the noise? Reference to a mobile game makes sense.
Oh, God. Did you see that whole commercial about the self-driving cars that'll bring your pizza?
Really?
I don't think we'll have it where I live for a long time.
Well, they have to be good at reading dirt roads. And that's unfortunate because, yeah, they don't.
No, I live in the city, but let me tell you, those like little empty midgets will be eaten by some of the potholes around here.
I can imagine. Yeah, potholes. I live up in the Northeast in New York State, and our roads just get destroyed by the salt and the heaving of really cold weather, and then all of a sudden the thaw, and it refreezes and the thaw. So our roads go through all kinds of craziness.
I'll go to same thing.
I'm not gonna this winter. It was somewhat mild. I wouldn't say it was totally mild. It was somewhat mild, but.
I actually had to turn my AC on.
Oh, jeez. South Dakota? That's kind of normally the coldest part of the country. But I guess you guys are having a heat wave there?
Yeah, a little bit. We've had some 90s and 80s already.
Wow.
That's like normal here.
It's just been. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, thinking you want to move to Antarctica. The heat puts me in pain.
Puts you in pain?
Yes. MS and heat does not go well together.
Oh.
movement speed for 8 seconds, well fed, and increase the primary stats by 26. Point out.
Oh wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, so if anyone dies, they don't lose their food buff, essentially. Huh.
Interesting.
Shugo, you okay over there?
Yeah, just running unbelievable through a few dungeons.
He's been asking all day to be ran through the dungeons. Dude, you're not gonna get experience if you don't queue.
Just trying to get equipment.
What kind of equipment?
Well, I go on the dealer and all. And like, always I gotta do is just say, can anybody like craft some equipment?
Did you ask him what he needs it for? Like, maybe we can help him that way instead of people running him all day?
Cause he's kind of in that in-between Draenor and...
It's not even that big of a deal. Like, because everything that he has now, it don't even matter. And if he queues for the dungeons, he'll get better gear anyway, so I don't understand. Yeah, he's been asking people all day long today.
Does he have clothing?
Yeah, he's a mage.
What level?
39.
You know, money, priest, tailor.
I'm a tailor, I'm maxed out. That's not the thing. They're also doing the dungeon quests as well. So,
Yeah, he can queue. Instead of having anybody, maybe he doesn't know that he can queue. Maybe that's what you need to help him with. Figure out that he can actually queue.
You can't do for some of them.
What do you mean you can't queue?
because it doesn't list all of them anymore.
I know, but the ones that it's listed, he can do the quest for.
The way that the dungeon queues work now is when you're leveling and you want to do a certain expansion, you have to go to Chromie, choose that expansion, and then queue for the dungeons.
Okay. I know that. I
But
just did
once
that.
you reach a certain level, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, well, once you reach level 48, I think is when it starts telling you you can go to Shadowlands, but at 50 is when you can start queuing for Shadowlands dungeons. Before that, you talk to Crony until you get to 50 and you choose what expansions you want a dungeon.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Like,
Just
I got
with
really sick and tired of looking at freeholds, so I just, like, I found out about the Crony thing.
What I normally do, and I mean this is just to run like old world stuff. I do Cataclysm. I choose Cataclysm, and then you can run the classic dungeons, which is a lot. You can choose from a lot of them. I mean that's an option, but I mean if he's looking for specific, then yeah, he just has to do Chromie type stuff.
Everyone's getting BOE, then get rings that I need. This guy doesn't need the ring, he won't give it up. What a jerk.
Do you have that add-on too? Do you need that?
No, don't. I just messaged. I am the Adam. I had to literally get in front of his face, dance around, and then talk and ask, like, hey, can I get that ring? And finally get it.
Wow. You sure?
It worked.
Oh, that's good.
I was getting a little frustrated. So I looked at his gear and he was in really good. For one, what are you doing in normal? Two, why won't you give me that?
What's a thing?
Well, you're good, like, just learning it.
True.
Or you just want the ring?
Dangle the carrot in front of him. It's like, ah, look what I got.
I really wish my come off cooldown now. There it is.
All right,
I'm
sweetheart.
doing well.
Thanks for coming tonight, Anna, and working with me this earlier this afternoon.
Oh yeah, but I think I'm definitely gonna need to do some of those mythic dungeons if I can figure out how to do it.
Remind me tomorrow before I get distracted in something, okay?
Okay, I will.
Oh, look at a spider.
If I'm on murder earlier in the day tomorrow, I can help you on my demon hunter or my hunter.
Okay, well, we first tried the rating with Mage, and now I'm trying the rating with my hunter.
Well, I don't know if Shoe Go and them told you, but I'm the guy to go to, you know.
For the hunter?
Yep. I was Doom in the raid. You could help me guys out.
He's King of the Hill and Hunter thing.
But I'll help you out with your rotation and stuff.
Okay, cause yeah, I did inspect and was like, yeah, I need better gear.
I went over her rotation with her today on training dummies, and she's got the max DPS set on, and we changed her talents to what Icy Veins suggested, so that she's mostly running. She's just all passive in her talents.
Yeah, the big thing with Beast Mastery is it's all about gear. Gear is the big factor of Beast Mastery.
I could definitely see that.
Beast Mastery has always been the spec that requires high stats to not do. Like, you can do well with bad stats, but it's one of them specs that are stat oriented, that stats boost your damage. It's been that way for years. Like marksman and survival stats ain't really a big issue with them at the start.
Yeah, but there is definitely a difference in the damage between standing at the training dummy and having him move around.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't know if you were in there, I think everybody left, but one of the guys in the raid asked somebody how they did, and I was like, you did perfectly fine. Like I said, in order to get better damage, or healing, or whatever you do, for example, is learning the fights better. Like, learning what mechanics you can cheese, or what mechanics to not use cooldowns on. It just takes time to learn the fights, and once you get comfortable with the fights, you do good damage. Like, that's the big thing, just learning the raid.
Yeah. Well, and I sat and watched just a couple weekends ago that I watched through MzSnow.
Yeah, the last time we did normal.
But yeah, I am bound and determined that I'm going to pick one of these characters and start learning those dungeons.
Yeah, once you learn things, you'll just, like you said, you'll be able to like know what not, when not to abilities, your abilities, and when to use them. It's just a matter of actually putting the effort in to do the research, or if it's not research you want to do and it's you learn differently by just doing it, it takes so many attempts.
Well, I learned that by doing. But I'll say
Yeah, that's the best way to learn, is just by doing.
but I also have to go through and before the raid, I have to go through and read the write-ups to that. That silver thing they have in WoW. Alright, well, I better get off here before I pass out. So, maybe I'll talk to you all tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good night.
Good night.
Sam, part of my soul.
Turbo speed. Winning. So by next Tuesday, I'll find out what happened to my knee.
What happened to your
Hopefully
knee?
SpaceX will build me a new one. Because if they build it, it will come. I told SpaceX that I want an Iron Man suit, and they said they'd be more than happy to make one for me. But they gotta encapsulate the big belly, so you're gonna see like an Iron Man suit with a big pot belly.
Where's my suit?
Well, you do too much damage, so you gotta pull it back, and then we'll think about it.
Like, is this something they're actually going to do? Like, build a suit that helps you?
No.
I was gonna say, like, it'd be something cool to have.
No, they already do have,
They
they already do have the exoskeleton suits that people can get into and actually lift,
Yeah,
you know, but
I've seen them. I don't know if civilians can get those. Be cool to have one though. You need the forge jack to pick up a car or pick heavy things up when you just have to put a suit on and does it for you.
I mean, it would give those people that, also, what's that, other project that Elon Musk has where people can think to do something and it'll actually do it? I think it's called, is it MindLink?
I've heard something similar to that. That might be what it's called.
And it literally, you could somehow integrate that with like a suit, and you could literally walk again.
Groovy has left the channel.
Groovy left.
Yeah, there might be a chip or something they'd have to put in the person in order for the suit to do what the person wants, you know what I mean? I don't know. That'd probably be the only way to program it.
Why did Groovy get kicked out of the channel?
Shugo got an erection and kicked it out.
What?
I am not gonna let that down.
No.
Sometimes the server that Groovy is connected to reboots.
Oh.
I can't let it down. I can't. It sounded way too funny.
Huh? What did I miss?
You weren't in the raid. If you were in the raid, you would have known. Oh, that was funny.
Now I feel like an outcast.
Well, get your butt moving. Let's raid.
I can't rate.
Volatile ejection. Volatile erection.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was incident number 3. You all had more than that.
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
tell the whole story.
Yes, she did. Earlier, we were talking, and she thought that I said humps, and I didn't. I don't know what I was saying. What did I say? I said something else. And then Hush said we were talking about sex, and we didn't. We were talking about something totally different. And then we are raiding, and she's explaining things, and there goes erection. I don't know what to say. I just think that, you know...
Is that still here or no?
Yeah.
You weren't sitting in your chair naked, were you?
That's for me to know. And you to assume.
And you to assume, he said? That's cute. I like that. But yeah, that was, it was fun though. She made it fun. The raid was good.
I just worry that I'm too, I get too serious or something, so I try to bring humor.
No, I mean, from just hearing you, like just literally hearing you run the raid, the thing is that you have the gentle conversation, but you're also very stern, and you're good at pointing out, because people need to be pointed out so they know what they're doing wrong.
Yes.
And that's what needs to happen. And you're not literally pinpointing them, you're just saying, this is where the mechanic went wrong, and that's why we didn't complete it this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, she resolves the issue in general, not towards the person that messed it up.
Yeah.
Right. So good job.
I think she's doing great. I just don't think, I mean, I feel bad that she's like trying to control herself to where she's not going to hurt anybody's feelings, and she's not going to be like a person who's yelling or anything, you know, this, that, and the other. I honestly think that you're doing an amazing job. I really do. I think that people really care of what you're saying. Now, you have to understand that not everybody is going to be able to follow those directions. You know, and it's not because...
That's what I heard.
Yes, the erections. And it's not because you didn't explain it well. It's because a lot of people in this world just cannot follow directions. And
I heard that again, alright?
so you
And
cannot,
if anything,
like...
it just takes people time to learn a certain mechanic
Yes.
and get it down.
Yeah, so you cannot, like, sit here and be like, oh my god, am I going to sound too mean or too rude? I mean, I know our conversation. I know why you're doing what you're doing. And I truly appreciate that. But in the same time, you know, you don't have to, like, you know, be biting your tongue just because, you know. I just think that you're doing a great job. And I don't think that you should worry about absolutely nothing. And if anything, you know, you need to talk, you can always talk to me, you know that. So, yell at me, I don't care.
Ryan, one that gets yelled at?
Honestly, like, I think that's the part that I struggle with is like when to not be so nice and when to tell people like, okay, you need to just fuck off. Like I tend to be more forgiving than probably 99% of the planet. So, but I would say that's because if I fucked up, I would want the next opportunity to correct the mistake or something. So I try to give that to everyone else. Like, be the person that I wanted, that I want in my life, kind of thing. And
That's all you need in your life. That's all you need.
well,
She laughed, I don't like it.
She also needs air. She
what I'm
needs
concerned
food,
with
water.
is when somebody, when someone's disrespectful, or when someone doesn't listen to the advice given and doesn't improve, then it's like, well, what do I do? Because I don't want to just kick them out, but I kind of have to in order to help everyone else progress, because the people that I need to kick out of the raise or whatever it be, like, I don't want them to feel like they're unwanted, and because it's not that, it's just that they're not showing the effort or something. But I don't know how to be that person that can, like, I don't know what to say to get people motivated, maybe, like, to actually do it.
Just basically tell them, it's like, if your numbers don't pick up in this next pull, then I'm gonna have to replace you with somebody else. And that's just all there is to be said.
I think the best way to like talk to somebody that's messing something up in Raid isn't through Discord, is just whisper them, because I've met a lot of people that it hits them hard when they get called out in Discord.
It's not just
And
that. I mean,
it
in front of
negatively
everybody.
affects-
Yeah, it negatively affects them and how they play, and
Yeah.
But the
I've
negative.
experienced that a lot where, for example, let's say I call out codes, just for example, and
You
in
did.
the middle of raid, and it hits her a way that makes her quit the game and do some in real life that we don't want to happen, you know what I mean? Like, that's the best way I've figured out how to help people, is just whisper them and explain the mechanic a little bit better, or ask what they're struggling on, rather than through Discord.
It's just hard, you know, doing that sometimes, being a raid leader in a group when you're trying to direct everybody at once, but you
Yeah.
need to be doing that as well as
I've
finding
never,
that balance.
to be honest, I've never raided, but I've tried my best as being a raider just to help people out any way I can. I just never led a whole group.
Like, what I wish I had more of is, like, I wish I had more people willing to be mentors for the people that are struggling in our guild. Like, in our raid teams. Like, we don't have, like, either we have the mentors, but they're not playing anymore, they're not on, or they're not, I don't know, or I don't feel that they're willing to do it, or maybe I'm just assuming that's a great possibility, but I don't want to force people to work together, because what I'm trying to make happen is I'm trying to get the people that I want to work on their, like, rotations or their mechanics. I want them to make the effort for themselves to progress as a person in their playstyle, in their gameplay, in their class, spec, everything. people through things. I want them to learn how to play the game so that they can enjoy the game to the fullest on their own.
That right there is
Feel,
keep it good, sorry.
and feel good about what they've progressed as.
Well, you said there's a big thing. This the people that are playing like that. You said there's like one or two people that were new to the raid or something like that. People just gotta learn what works for them, like flow-wise, like keybinds or is clicking better for them, stuff like that. Like just simple stuff that is comfortable for them and makes them a better player.
One thing that I've seen work in different games is when you have, because you have officers in this guild, obviously, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, to be an officer, then would require you to be willing to, A, assist other teammates, in any way, any way possible, either if they need to help on how to run the rotation, you can find another guildie, learn from them, and then relay that information, or see if that guildie would work directly with that individual. So, like, basically, you would be basically a supervisor in an actual job, and you would go about helping your teammates to completely succeed. Because when you help those individuals, then you as a whole group will do a lot better. So I just put the responsibility on the officers, and if they don't want that role, then they can be brought back down to whatever they want to be. But assert that as, you could do it that way, where you have officers, and this is their role. That's,
I think that I've thought of an idea in reference to that suggestion.
But not officers,
And
though.
that's what
They could be class leaders, and I can create a
But I think that doesn't necessarily doesn't have the privileges that an officer has, but is their own rank in the guild where it's labeled as mentor, and
Right.
people request for that rank, and the people that request for that rank are first, like, kind of like an interview or inspection, just to see if, they do know enough about the class spec and everything that involves around being a mentor, knowing dungeons and what have you. Like, there could be a mentor for specific classes and spec. There could be a mentor for knowing how to do a dungeon, what the best route for a mythic is, your raid leaders, things like that. Because this way, if they do have a certain rank that's called that, then when people hover over that person's name, or in the guild roster or something, and they're trying to find somebody who is designated in that, then they're like, okay, this person's on and they're available and I can go to them. And that person needs to be available. That's like a requirement, obviously, but
Yeah, like for example, what do you main priest should go?
yeah.
Like, you can have the rank say, for you, it would be priest mentor, and then like in your guild note or whatever, you can put like what specs you're really good at, or what you know what I mean, like for example, shadow priest and holy priest, you can put that in your note.
Yeah, it could be just in the note too, but the thing is, we only got so much space in the note, and I prefer to put, like, if it's an alt of a main, like, I'd rather people put, like, who they are in there, and if it's a main, I'd rather people put their item level and professions, and, like, their spec. we get the raid group settled and like sorted out, because I think our heroic group is kind of like, I'm gonna see if this new raid time for our heroic group is going to allow for everyone that we requested to be there, that we feel is our best team in the guild, in terms of how well did they play with the mechanics, how well they listen, and how well they perform in their class. If this new time works out, then that's fine, but if not, I feel that our heroic group is struggling because we need a more consistent group to be showing up every weekend. And that was the point of me making the normal group, was to see if the people that we booted out of the progression group initially, when we finished normal,
See if they became better players.
yes. And if not, then even as, like, if there was no improvement at all, like, if it seemed like they just stayed the same, even though we worked with them and stuff, then that's when we cut them off and we just say, look, we don't feel that the raid environment's right for you, in a sense. But otherwise, then we just have to try to figure out what is causing the problem. Like, for people that they're like kind of improving, but they're still getting something wrong. So I just have to figure out what all that is. But it's difficult when I'm in the raid and I'm trying to work on call-outs and heal, and I can't look at everything else. So that's why I rely on like typically I do ask Dustin to like keep an eye on the raid and the numbers, in terms of like who's doing what mistake and everything, and like he pulls up on details too about the
Now, that actually brings up a good point. Shubo, what you're saying is that, and here's the thing, as the guild becomes larger and larger, you know, it's like building a business. As you get larger and larger, you're gonna need multiple managers, which are gonna be your sub GMs, and then you're gonna have your officers under them, your raid leaders, and in support of your raid leaders, you should have assistants. So, and in a normal raid, because it is a lot. It is a lot for a raid leader to manage. Trust me, I know, and I've seen some just completely burn out. Is you do need those assistants, and one is okay, but if you had at least two people that could do that for you and provide you immediate feedback right away.
Like you're saying, the raid leader thing, I can give you an idea of my guild. We have the main raid leader, then two others, and each raid leader, they sit down, and for example, you're progressing on Heroic Hungary, just for example, one raid lead calls out X mechanics, the other one, and the other one call out X mechanics, and they're assigned to their mechanics. Kind of like what I was doing, you were calling out the jumps, the Sin Seeker, and all that stuff. And the only thing I was saying was shades are about to spawn and stacks. And then that gave you the okay, let's go attack it, or let's wait a little bit.
Yeah, I think that Shugo is right as far as that's what I was thinking, create because I can create a new rank. And as far as the callouts go, I think that if you're, and this is going to require a little bit of search or research or whatever you call it. I think that we need people that actually are positive people, people that actually believe that we could do this, even if we wipe 50,000 times and, whatever it is, it's a progression. We all are aware of that. So, no negative conversations before the raid, because that puts people down. People, literally, it puts people down. It put me down today. So, not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm not saying who did what, how, and why. I'm just saying, some positive conversation needs to happen because, it's a game, man. We're supposed to have fun. This is not a hardcore raiding guild to where we're just about to, go in there and just get everything done. No, it's not going to happen like that. So, I agree with Shugo, but my suggestion is finding people that actually have positive energy to where people will actually listen and, just like they listen to you. Yeah, they have a hard time, yes, but they only have a hard time because, they're not able. It has nothing to do with your explanations. Nothing. Because you're doing great. And that's just my opinion. But, some people just don't follow like that. They just can't. They're not able to. So. That's just me. I don't really like negativity. We all have a hard life outside of this. We all have some things that are bothering us, drama in our lives. But it doesn't have to be negative.
It made me happy though that when I did mention that like in the Discord where I mentioned about how the normal run's gonna be for people that need to work on their rotations and stuff, and June was the first one to volunteer to help people.
I love that.
And I had gone to Abaddon and she was willing to help people with their demon hunters. So it kind of gave me that little bit of relief where it's like I don't have to do it all by myself. Because I'm familiar with all the classes enough to know, and I'm not bothered to look it up on, like, I think there's something to get a basic understanding to help people. But the thing is there comes a line between teaching people their rotation and telling them like a good talent build and telling them what mechanics to look out for, and then actually telling them how to play. Like, there's a line there because it has to come from both ways. Like the effort. Like, I'm putting the effort in to help you be better, but it's help you be better. It's not make you, and it's not play for you kind of thing. So I need like people to also put the effort coming back and saying, hey, look, I want to be better and I want to do this with my DPS. Can you run dungeons with me? I want to practice this new dungeon thing, and I want to practice my rotation that you gave me. Like, I want to see more of that out of the people that I've been working with, and like, I have maybe 2 people that, are, doing that, but it's just a matter of that 2-way street.
getting everybody to be actually on one page, and be actually interested to learn or interested to get better, or but if they don't have no interest towards it, honey, there's nothing you can do, trust me. Or if they're just not able to follow directions. Some people are not, like I said earlier. You can't beat yourself over that. You just have to let it go sometimes.
Chugo's right. You shouldn't have to handhold them to everything.
Exactly.
Obviously, there has to be some independence, and the player in the game. I mean, this is a game, and has to do some investment on themselves. And the thing is that if they can't put the investment to look up a YouTube video on how to do the rotation in current expansion, then I really don't know what to tell them. I mean, if they can't find videos, we can buy
Find it for
right. But the thing is, you should do the research. Go on AC Veins, go on Wowhead, go on anything else that you want to look at. I mean, and those are basically the websites that I look at. There is Ask Mr. Robot, but I don't really follow that anymore.
There's blood now that show you trinkets and stuff like that, comparisons.
But in the end, to learn your rotation, you can get a gist just by reading. And I really do mean this, just by reading your actual character journal, like, what each skill does. And you'll see that one empowers the other, so you know that you're going to have to run that before you hit the other. And then that's how you're going to set up your buttons. Or, if people want to do max DPS and just be, just love to click buttons, you can get an add-on called Max DPS. Whatever your class is, Max DPS Hunter, Max DPS Warrior. And just have all of your stuff mapped to, mapped to your buttons, and then it will literally highlight and show you, hey, this is the key you need to hit next.
The one thing I'm concerned about is I don't want people to end up relying on the add-on to play for them.
Well, I don't want them to rely on you either.
It's to help people learn their rotation, and I would rather people build up the confidence in the intelligence to seek out the ability to tweak their build or to alter their rotation in different ways that flows with their playstyle. So, but trying to get people to understand that, that's where I get kind of like confused on how to do it, or not know what to say to get them to understand.
My thing is that I don't want them to rely only on you either, because there's Shugo, I'll just have her explain. I don't need to look anything up. I don't have to try to learn it myself, but
Like you really had to
like I was just about to say, I was like that. I was felt like that, for a while. But I do research, though. I just am not good at researching. So that's where you help me with. Like yesterday, all day long, I was crazy going through all day long. Ever since I woke up, I was going through shit. I just wasn't able to find it. I'm not that good at it, so that's when I asked you. You helped me, and I stopped. Period. I didn't even want to do it no more because I had this major headache from trying to look up things and figure it out. And I figured some things out, and then Hush helped me, and then Shugo helped me, and just
I want to try to encourage people to be at the top of their game, to learn their class. For example, like I have with doesn't take away, that doesn't make him knowledgeable about warriors just because he's warriors not in the guild. It doesn't mean he can't just hop over and say, look, here's my build, here's how I do my tank rotation or what have you. This is how I tank this boss. Like, it's just a matter of people reaching out, and I don't mind if people come to me first and say, hey, do you know somebody that can teach me this class? And then if I'm not busy and I know enough about the class to help them, sure, I will. But if I'm busy, I may tell them, hey, after this, or here's this site, take a look, and I'd rather you do the research on your own and invest your time into learning about your class.
But that's what you might actually be better doing, because, okay, listen, I can tell you anything you want to know about the class, but why don't you do me a favor and go to this website and let's get together afterwards and tell me what you found out. And if you need more help, I'll help you. And if you notice that they didn't do shit about it, they just waited until you're available, then say fuck it. You know? It's just simple as that.
There is a line to be drawn to Shugo, and that
Exactly.
I mean, it's great that you're very, very helpful, but there are people that can take advantage of that.
Yes.
And you have to realize that if they truly are not putting an effort into it, then make it known to them. Say, look, I really see that you're really not putting an effort into it. You're just wanting me to handhold you through this whole thing, which is not the way that's not the way this guild is laid out.
It's not gonna help the person.
You have to figure it out.
Yeah, you don't want to burn yourself out.
Exactly. I've been trying to tell her. She's way too nice and way too hopeful. And one of those days, she's gonna realize, oh shit, I'm burnt out, and you know, fuck it, I ain't gonna help nobody.
Yeah, that's what I did. Fuck it.
Exactly. Exactly what he did. But I don't want you to get burned out. I've been telling Hush that too, but he ain't listening. So, you know, that's what ended up happening. But I'm trying to tell you, dude, if a person doesn't take an initiative to try to do something, they have struggled, just like me. Put me in that position, because I did. I asked so many times a question, but you know what? I try to look up things. I try, but I am so not good at finding things. I really am not. I admit it. It doesn't make me feel stupid. It's just simply not good at looking up things. But that doesn't mean that everybody else isn't. But if a person, you see the person trying, that's one thing. But if they don't try at all and just keep asking you to help them, or you push yourself to, which is mostly how it happens. It's Shugo, hey, let me help you. No. If they want help, they're going to come to you and say, hey, Shugo, I need help with this. And then you're going to say, okay, how about you visit this website? Try to read through that and see how does that help you. If it doesn't help you, come, let's talk. If I can't help you, I'll find somebody to help you. Period. Period. They don't do what you asked them to do, fuck it. It means they're really not interested. They're just, you know, doing whatever they want to do just to do it. You know, just like we asked one person, not pointing fingers again, not mentioning any names. We asked a person to practice, to do this, do that, whatever. You know what they did? They went on their alt and played a lot alt. I'm just like, okay. So that's what I'm trying to say. You investing so much of your time to help people is beyond nice. And I appreciate it. I do. I really appreciate it. However, you are going to burn out. You're going to burn yourself out. Because you're the one who goes, okay, well, I see Pixie this, and, this person that and this person that. Well, I'm gonna help them. So then you literally chase after those people like a stalker, and you make yourself available, but they don't make themselves available for you. It's like you're not the one who's supposed to make yourself always available for them. You're supposed to let them, make themselves available for you, because you're the one who's important in this situation. You're the one who's gonna help them. So if they truly want that help, they're gonna come to you, Mama. Yeah, I promise you. And if he says that I lied, he can kiss my ass. But I said, and forgive me for saying it like that, but I said this to Hush so many times. You're going to burn out yourself. You're going to burn out yourself. Stop helping people going to, like he went with me to a raid finder. He keep claiming that he is going just because he needed some mogs. And he lied. I know he lied. You know why? Because he wanted to help me. He felt sorry for me. That's how he is. That's how Hush and Sugar are. They feel bad. They want to help people, but then overwork themselves to the point to where they burn out themselves instead of having fun and doing what they need to do or what they want to do with their $15 playing the game a month. No, they burn out themselves trying to gather everybody like Shugo. I swear to God, she's like a stalker, man. She will look, literally, this is the conversation we're having every day. So I know she's been looking for Pixie like did anybody see it? As soon as she signs on, did anybody see Pixie? I'm trying to catch him online. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, let Pixie, I love Pixie to death, don't take me wrong, I'm just picking on Pixie right now. No, it's not like that. I love him to death. But the thing is like, let Pixie find you if he is interested truly to do what he wants to do. You have plenty of things to do. We talked about it today, doing some recruiting, organizing other things, even now, making some ranks. Find people that are actually good with their tune. We have other things to do. So if they need help, they can come and ask. But if they don't take that initiative to actually help themselves and make themselves better, they're not going to the raid. It's simple as that. I had to be a dick. I literally had to be a dick after very first week, and I cut off 2 people. I felt like shit. But I was trying to be nice and say, I'm sorry. It's just that, there's like 8 of us against 2 of you who are pulling this little back. We're wiping constantly. Well, let's try to see what happens if you guys are not there. And guess what happened? The very next week after that, we went 10 of 10. Tell me if I'm lying. So the thing is that the people that are trying to succeed and progress are getting annoyed by the people that are pulling them down. We try to push and help the people that are pulling them down, but they are not taking initiatives. You need to stop pushing yourself to help people who are not really easy to help. Let them figure it out on their own. So instead of going into the raid, let's push them into, do not go with them. Let them go into a mythic, figure it out. Your mama didn't take your hand and say, well, I'll show you how to go and do a mythic. No, you learned it on your own.
My mom taught me how to do mythic.
Oh, hush it, you hush. You see what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it irritates me. Something irritates me to the point to where I just, like, I'm like literally blabbing my face right now because nothing's gonna change, because Shugo is just made that way, that she doesn't like to see people struggle. And if anybody asks for help, she's gonna be the first, just like Hush did. They're gonna be the first ones to go, I'll help you. So you leave everything that you were just about to do to help another person. looking something up for a person, it's not but a click away. But not signing off of one tune, going to another, going into an instance just
You're
like she's
breaking
doing
up,
right
yeah.
now. You know, you need to pick and choose. You literally do. You want to be a raid leader? Be a nice person, but you have to be a little more stir, kind of. That's just my opinion. You know, because as long as you are doing what you're doing, you're going to burn out yourself real quick and you're going to leave just like Kush did. I'm just saying. And I don't want that to happen. I didn't want to lose him either, but I can't tell him what to do with his own money. Nor can I say it to anybody else. I lost so many great people in this guild, it's retarded.
Hey, I didn't go anywhere. I'm still here. I'm just doing my own thing. That's all.
You joined
It
another
doesn't mean
guild.
I'm not around to help still. I made my own guild for a bank.
Mm-hmm. In any case, it doesn't even matter. You know, all I'm saying is that, baby girl, you're gonna burn yourself out. If you keep a month, how long has it been? It's been a month and a half since we've been raiding for the first time. We've been trying to help a couple people constantly throughout the whole time. And guess what? Still shit happening. It's simple. There's no hard feelings. I'm sorry. It's just that, you know, we're losing good raiders. And I'm not saying they're bad raiders or bad. It doesn't make them bad people. They're just not as good with their tune as some other people might be. Those are kids. Let them play, you know? But what I'm saying is that, you know, there's no hard feelings. You have to be the one to say, hey, look, I tried. It's been a month and a half we tried. So you can't say we didn't. There's no hard feelings. I'm sorry, but we cannot take you back. You know, we're still not saying no to you, but to practice and all of that good stuff, you really need to go through like mythics, push as far as you can go, give them advice. Don't be going with them into mythics. Don't be going with them into raids.
It just comes down to like, hey, we're trying to make a heroic progression. We want people who want to be part of that group. If you aren't holding your own in normal, we won't be taking you to the heroic group. And you know, and if you're really holding back the normal group, we'll stop.
Exactly.
Bring you to the normals.
Exactly.
And you can run LFG, you can run normals on your own, you can run heroic on your own if you want. It's just, you know, it's just as simple as that.
Exactly. My point is that Hush is 100% right. 100% right. And my thing is that the people that should go into normals even, if we're going to create normals, is people that actually are good with their tune, just need a little gear to be able to go with us in heroic. That, absolutely, I'll say yes to any time. But people that we already know are not able to do what they need to do, why do we keep bringing him back? I don't get it.
Because you guys want to build a group in your guild, like within your community, because plugging in outsiders is hard and not always a good experience. That's what it comes down to. Would you rather deal with somebody who's wiping your raid, but at least being nice and like trying to learn, or somebody who's just an asshole and doesn't care about your group at all,
But see,
and will lead after one wipe?
see, but that's another thing, though. I don't see any one of our guildies that are an assholes. So what I try to do is I try to bring people in, and while they're in the guild, I know if they are that they're not, because I get to know them. If they come to the chat, even better in Discord. So far, I don't think we have any assholes. Not that I noticed. The guild has been alive since 2007. I had a couple of assholes that made drama in my guild, but guess what? They're gone instantly.
I wasn't referencing that, like, our guild. I was saying that, like, bug. Like,
Oh.
random people you're going to be bringing in because we don't have enough people now, because you're going to not bring in guild members who aren't performing well. So you'll bring in somebody who does perform well, but they're an outsider and could care less about the group that they're running with, you know?
Well, the way I see it, honey, I don't see it that way. It might take a little time, but people that I invite to the guild are basically invited blinded. I'm blinded when I invite them. I invite them, but all of those people that are in the guild are blindly invited. So I had no idea who you are. I mean, I'm not saying we knew through Shugo, but Shugo knows the way I invited her to the guild. I had no idea who she was or how she was. She could have been the biggest bitch in the world,
Rar.
but she's not. So you have to give people some chances. You know what I mean? You really have to. It's how it is. You know, if I don't give people chances, our guild would be like maybe 50 people. But I have to give people
That's
chances.
the sweet spot right there.
But I have to give people chances. And if they turn out to be an asshole, guess what? They ain't going. Period. I won't let that happen.
Like, we have 882 tunes.
Exactly.
Guild.
Exactly. Tell me who's an asshole.
How many of them are 60 levels that aren't even joining us?
A lot. But at the same time, know that, like, how many classes are there now? Is it 10? Like, at least 10 people are just me. You know? Because all of my characters on this realm are in this guild.
Yep.
Yeah, but say everybody has 4 alts, because, you know, they're human, you know. You know, that's still, like, 200.
The way it is in this guild is basically half and half. It's 2 alts per person, 2 characters per person. Basically how it ends up being. Because we have, if you go /guild info all together, no spaces, it's going to tell you there's 882 players, which is not players, it's tunes. It's characters in a guild. There's 510 accounts. It means there's 510 people in the guild with 802 tunes. So one person might have 1 tune, another person might have 10. You see what I'm saying? But it kind of
There's still 500 and some people, and
exactly.
we're struggling just to get a full group.
And that's because, sweetheart, when people join this guild, and this is like a month ago, when people join this guild, they join to a casual, laid-back, no obligation whatsoever guild. They get perks. We're helpful to each other, but we don't necessarily, quote-unquote, raid. It was nothing serious. It was nothing. People are not used to that shit. And now that we're throwing the shit at them, they're like, oh, well, I better pick up my stuff, you know? I better get my stuff ready.
The thing is like,
So I
I
can't
came
blame.
to this guild because it was social and it had a lot of members. What drew me to this guild was the number of people, the the fact that I already knew of this guild when I started playing the game, because the guild is that old. So I was like, okay, obviously this guild master is doing something right, because they're constantly keeping up members long enough to where their guild hasn't gotten disbanded, and people are like, not enough people are leaving to cause it to disband, so something's being done right. And then when I joined on alts and I was playing my alts to level them up, and there was always people online, always somebody talking in the guild chat. So I'm like, okay, I want to be in this guild because it looks like there's a lot of people who need help and who could use somebody who's knowledgeable about the game, because there's a lot of people asking questions. And that's the kind of environment I want to put myself in, because I need, personally, I need to keep myself busy doing something. Otherwise, I end up getting in my own head, and I want to avoid it because it just causes me a lot of stress, anxiety, and panic kind of things, situations. So I try to just keep myself busy and occupied doing something productive. And, you know, at times, yes, the activities that I put myself through in the game end up taking over where I should be, you know, I should have been the one that had dishes done, and Hush didn't have to. But he was nice enough of seeing that I was trying to get the raid together and raid lead, so he took it upon himself to take care of that, because he's awesome like that. But the thing is I need to figure out, get off the carriage. Maybe MzSnow go next week. I have to figure out the people that I need to stop and just let go. And it's hard because, like I said, I'm too nice. And I know I don't want to burn myself out, but at the same time, I do like to be busy and everything.
Oh, honey, I can make you busy. Don't worry about that.
But the thing is, too, is I also wanted to progress in the raid content. I'm one boss away from AOTC, and I don't have it yet, because the times that I did try to get into a group, it would just be a white fest, and people would leave, and the group would disband and leave me all alone in the group. So I was just like, well, okay, I guess I just cannot plug into a raid. And so that puts me in a position where I now probably can't queue for Mythic, because people want AOTC people. Well, I'm one boss away, and people either take me and then the group disbands, take me, it's like White Fest, and the group disbands, or they take me and then they kick me immediately because I don't have AOTC, or something happens. Like, I really have no idea. But back to what I was saying, like, I'm so swirly today. Okay. I came to this guild because I knew that it was a social one. And I knew that I wanted to try to help people raid, because, like, there was people who were queuing up for raiding, and I was like, well, how about I just make a raid group, because in a guild this size, there's practically gonna be at least somebody that wants to, excuse me, we're talking, okay? There has to be at least enough people to get at least half of a raid group formed. And then outside of that, it's like, well, I don't want to be too hardcore, like how Dustin is, because he is an ex-raid leader, and so, but his version of raid leading is very strict, very harsh in a sense, and he only reason why he even holds back to the extent that he does now, and I feel like he's kind of teetering on the brink of just going, okay, all you guys fucking suck. But the thing is I don't feel that we all suck, but all I hear from him is complaints, and that's not the raid leader I want, and that's not the raid leader I want to be. So I'm kind of also using him as a sort of role model of, it's an example of what I don't as a raid leader for this guild. So what I'm trying to do is do the opposite of what he's doing. and according to you guys, it's working. But I figured if I start with the rating thing, and then the channel, find the people that are willing to mentor, willing to read assist, and then I can then step back a little bit because I removed some of the responsibility for myself, and then I can start putting some energy into fun guild events. Let's have races. Let's have transmog competitions. Let's have like go and walk down the tram naked or something. I don't know, but just something that's different that takes everybody away from the grind. And being in a social guild, it's kind of needed. But what has to happen first is the awareness needs to be built up about communication and working together and knowing who you can go to about your character and who you can go to about dungeons and race and questing. Like, there's so much content, and this expansion covers it pretty well. They made it easy for everyone to enjoy what they love to do. But it's getting
Dude Fortune has left the channel.
work together in it. Am I talking too much?
No. He messaged me quite a few times and had ideas because he had to go.
Okay. Like, I'm like really appreciative of the people that are good at what they do and are willing to help out and stuff. It's just, I have this like problem where I feel bad asking them to help because I
Help
don't.
shouldn't have to be asked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Zoom is pretty good with this hunter. You're good with your priest. I mean, you're good with most of the tunes, but even with your priest, there's not many priests in our guild anyway that would need help. So you would be kind of free there for the most part. And what I would love to see you concentrate more on is the people that actually are progressing and are able to progress.
You're cutting out again.
Well, I need to know who those people are.
Yeah, because I think, honestly, what I think is happening is that we're losing a lot of people who are good at progressing because of the people who are not so good at progressing. And we're...
In the same retrospect, in order to get better, you've got to have that experience. Just because they've already got that experience, they've got to have some patience for those that don't.
Right, but there is LFR. There is mythics, you know. Uh, there's no need for her to spend her time trying to build a heroic group and a normal group to be able to progress. It's just, that's a lot. You think it's just like, oh, let me invite people and let's go. It's not just like that. It's not
I
all,
realize that.
you know. So what I'm saying is that if people want to really learn, they will take some initiative by themselves, read up on your character, learn about your character, what add-ons to use. It's important. Or, you know, go to Raid Finder. I went to Raid Finder with each and every one of my tunes before I was even ready to go into a normal heroic, let alone heroic. I mean, normal raid, let alone heroic. So take that initiative. Go a few times. Learn the boss. Learn the fights. You know, it's not much different. Little different, but it's not much different. You'll learn the fights. You'll learn the bosses. You'll know what the fuck they're doing. To where when you get into the raid, say, oh, I remember this. So what's different? And the only thing at that point that you need to learn is what is the difference between normal and LFR, which is really not that much. So then you take initiative and you go to mythics. And you push as far, you go from 0 and you push as far as you can fucking go. There's your training. There's your, you know, awareness. It's what is, I think it's mechanics and awareness that is that we're lacking the most. It's not so much so the DPS or whatever it is, but it's not. It's the awareness. It's the people are dying or, you know, doing things they're not supposed to do and then wipe the whole raid, or, you know, things like that. Using wrong add-ons. It's all of that together is important to be able to actually progress. But you take some initiative. There is LFR. Any crazy person goes there, but you pay attention. You pay attention. Even if you die, pay attention to what the boss is doing, what abilities the boss is throwing out there at you or at everybody. You know, it doesn't matter. Just pay attention. It doesn't take that long. Like, you die and you just get up and go and make yourself a tea. It's not like that. You ain't gonna learn shit. You know? If you really want to learn, you need to take some initiative. It's not up to Shugo to take people who've never been in the raid, let alone did a dungeon, into a raid. It's just, that's just, you know, that's just Shugo. If it was up to me, and I'm the freaking GM, I wouldn't be doing it. But I trust her decisions, and I let her do what she wants. I just don't want her to get overwhelmed so much to where she's going to give up. You know, she's doing a great job, but that doesn't mean she should be overwhelmed with this stuff. You take a chance. Take yourself through LFR, through mythics, through dungeons, through, you know, learn a little bit. It's not, you know, you go through a normal and heroic dungeons. You'll know what the bosses are doing. It's no difference in the heroic or a normal raid. No difference. Like, you go into a normal dungeon. From the normal, you're going to go to the heroic. Well, in heroic, a difference between normal and heroic is that the bosses have a little more health and have an extra ability. Whoa. Hard to figure out. No, it's not. Then from there, you go into a Mythic 0. You know what happens? The boss has a little extra help and perhaps an extra ability.
And your time.
Exactly. And then you get to a next extra one, a 0 plus, which means the boss has an extra ability, but you already know all of the other abilities that the boss has. So you're like, fuck you, I know what you're gonna do. So when you throw that newbie at me, I'll get you. So, and then what? You got that. It's not really that hard. It just takes time to, you know, go through all of that. I did about 50,000 fucking dungeons before I was even considering to do a Mythic 0. Mythic 0!
And then she was still scared.
And I was still scared to do it. Even though I knew every single boss and what they do and how they do it and what I need to do and all of that. Every single boss.
But I mean, even you, Cuddles, you have to work on some of your mechanics. That's the thing. Like, you know the fight system.
I know.
It's like you have to give people time to work on it in a sense, but it's like how much time do you give them before
Exactly.
tired?
Exactly.
And
We all
unfortunately, that
learn every day.
Varies from person to person.
Yeah, and we all learn every day. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I know everything. I don't. But it's not that hard to figure it out. You go and you do it. I've done so many LFRs and so many dungeons. It's retarded. And I still mess up on some. But guess what? I'm a human. And I'm not saying that the people that are making mistakes are not. No, I'm just saying that they don't want to take that initiative to learn at least some stuff. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's perfect. We all learn every day. I learn every day this game. I've been playing since 2007. I'm still fucking learning. It's easier for some people. It's harder for some. I'm not a fast learner. I admit that. I'm not perfect with my tunes. I admit that too. I could be if I don't play 50,000 alts. You know, I could be better at my tunes that are I could consider my mains. But that's another thing. I can't even pick a main because I just like them all. But guess what?
And that's why I stick to one character. Because I would rather be good at one character than mediocre at 10.
Well, see, I don't mind being a little bit of mediocre as long as I can help in any way that I can. So I'll push myself to the point to where I'll do the best that I can and bring what's needed, as that's what I feel like my job could be, because I like doing that, than being perfect at one tune and suck at the other.
Extra feel that way because you're the GM, right? You want to make sure that your guild has what they need.
Very true.
So.
Very true. And that's why I made sure that
sometimes the guild needs people that are competent with their class.
Exactly, and that's Shugo. That's why I have Shugo, see? I'll help in any way that I can. I'm not a raid leader. If I was, we would have been raiding by now. You know?
That's the thing that's the thing that we need a little more of, though, is we need more Shugos.
More Shugos, yes. But Shugo doesn't...
I've been trying. Don't ask why.
You're nasty.
Yeah, nah. I like it when she says, fuck your couch. It's funny. But, yeah, I never said I was perfect. Never, never, ever, ever. Nor was I, nor will I be. But, I know my tunes that I play. My druid, my monk.
Well, shit, I ain't perfect either. Like,
My hunter.
my druid, like, I kept getting hit by the shriek.
But, baby, we are all learning, though. That's what it is.
Like,
You're more comfortable with one
tune. The issue
tune.
that I had with making it behind the pillar was that I had bloods from everybody else in my way. So.
Yep, that's why I died. Because I was trying to run through blood and the freaking streak hit me and I was like dead. So I'm like, okay, well, partially my fault. I shouldn't have moved. I should have just stayed in blood like Dustin does. To avoid the, who cares what the healers do. I don't know. I just, like I said, ain't nobody perfect. I know I'm not. I try to help the best that I can. I'm sorry I wasn't the best performer tonight. You know why. Let's not talk about it. But I try. I have my druid is 202. My monk is at 203. My hunter is 2 something, whatever. or is it maybe 190 something or whatever. I have tunes that could help. It's what matters. And I stay alive most of the time. But and that matters too. I don't know all the mechanics. Don't put me in charge of anything because I would mess it up. Well, I didn't mess up much tonight with the hunter and freezing that shadow and whatever.
I was watching you on Hungering. You were making sure you got out of the group ball erection.
Direction. Yeah. I was trying to go away, and I'm trying to move away from Val, and Val is just constantly following me like a freaking puppy. I swear. Like, no matter where I stand, she's right there, or he. Right there. I'm like, okay, dude, I'm a hunter. If it hits me, just, you're gonna have to move away from me. But no, he or she was standing right next to me the whole time. On that fight. And I heard Shu go by accident and say, stop following me. Somebody was following you the whole time. I wonder if that was Val. Like maybe they feel more comfortable being next to somebody. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm not perfect in anything that I do. Tonight it wasn't my night. But that's no excuse. I shouldn't have gone anyway. Period. I shouldn't have gone tonight. But I did just to support my guild, and I thought I could do it, and I couldn't, so I didn't. But I wasn't the cause of the wipes.
No, the cause of the wife moving out was volatile ejection.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple. Because unfortunately, they made the mechanic so hard this raid that if you mess up the mechanic, unfortunately, sure, it could have been a mistake. But now 2 people are dead because of that mistake. So not only did you make a mistake, but you also killed somebody by making a mistake.
I died
Unfortunately, when that happens a bunch of times, it kind of gets on people's nerves.
Yeah, every single time that somebody threw that thing in the raid on that last boss that we were trying, whatever that thing was called, that
Hungering Devourer.
Yeah. They would throw it right in the raid and I would die. I don't know why, but I would die. Maybe I'm just that squishy. But yeah.
Well, it could have been a bunch of things. You could have had some damage that wasn't healed up all the way. You could have had an ES on you.
Yeah, true.
So.
But yeah, that was crazy. And I don't usually talk when Sugar's running the raid, but tonight I was starting to be a little irritated. And I tried to control myself. I just couldn't for a while there. So. I usually don't talk, period. I try to help when I can, but...
Well, the reason why I had even asked you to go on push to talk, because a lot of times, whenever we're having the sounds and stuff, like, that's what I end up hearing more than, like, you don't, I know you don't really talk, like, while we're reading, but
Yeah.
it's when we're getting all the DBM stuff and I'm hearing it twice. And it's
I know. That's not why I said anything about that. I was saying, I usually don't try to explain anything or say,
like
hey,
the word,
yeah. I usually stay quiet. You both know that. But
That happened to me too with that DPM, because I heard, I'm sitting there casting and I hear, you're out of mana. I'm like, I need to innervate, and I look over and I'm like, no I don't.
Yeah, when you asked for that, like, I look at your mana, I'm like, dude, what the hell drugs are you on?
I was casting, like I said, I was casting and I hear,
In your dreams, I'm
you're out of mana. You're out of mana. And I'm like,
over 75% mana. I'm giving it freaking cuddles and shit, and then almost done.
well, it's hard, I was hearing it.
yeah, and for some reason I was out of mana real quick lately. Like tonight. Ooh, I was out of mana fast. I don't know why. Maybe I just It just wasn't my night. Let's put it that way. Let's leave it at that.
And then the other problem that I had was the fact y'all put markers down. That was good. But then you use the same markers on some of the people, and
Well, DBM puts markers on people.
oh,
Yeah, I can't control it. It does it on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, you should never. You don't unless Shugo says okay, you follow I don't know a star. Uh, and that
Yeah,
means
that's
you
gonna happen on Sludgefest, where I'm gonna mark myself, and then you're gonna have to stick with me.
right, but
But
that
I
means
think
you follow a
honestly-
tune. You know what?
Honestly, if we were to get to Sludgefest, I would end up putting O'Leary with Melee because of like he should be using Crusader Strike and his rotation of healing, so he generates that holy power faster.
oh, I had holy power up.
But I'm just saying, like, in the sense of Sludgefest, because for Sludgefest fight, the way the mechanics are, you need a balance of melee and rage because of the way chains work. So that way, you're not going to have a random melee person get changed to a range, and the chain's going to break instantly and kill them both instantly. So it's like. Because I think it might count you, and I know for sure it counts monks as melee, even though they're healers.
It does count paladins as
But,
I think it also counts shamans as melee. Shaman heal.
Yeah, and I also heard the shaman healers are really good raid healers.
yes. Shamans or druid and druids and priests are pretty high on the request list until you get to KT. Like, I think KT's only fight that they're like really begging for a monk.
And that's really like a really niche thing, you know, like you can do it with like other healers, it's not the end of the world. It's just like yeah, it's just because of that one buff. You know, people who know about it want it just to make their raid easier.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know or care.
I've been trying to get my shaman up. I don't know what good healers are going to be in the next raid. But being that I have them all,
It's just a matter of reading the PTR notes. And
Yeah.
since it's you inquiring, I would end up having to read it for you. Or somebody.
so that's the thing. It depends on what's needed and what's best. I'll have a tune ready. That's kind of my goal now. What was it? Agility, haste, versatility. Agility, haste, versatility. Agility, haste, versatility. I'm gonna go with haste. doing?
I'll never get this map.
You need help?
No, I'm good. I run Firelands every week, try to get the never get it.
Yeah, I got the ground mount from there, but I didn't get the flying mount, and it's driving me crazy. But I give up, man. If I get there, I get there. I'm not gonna push myself and go crazy. But it is driving me crazy.
I'm just still trying to get my mountains up.
Yeah, that's mount. The flying mount. The yellow one, not the purple one or whatever. The yellow one is that I don't have it. I have the ground mount yellow, but I don't have the flying. And I kind of gave up on it because I was just like, you know what, screw this, man. I'm tired of trying.
Do you think that if I had Pixie Go Demo, they could use my DPS because it's less buttons?
I thought that you had already tried to get them to be.
No, I was gonna try to have them go Affliction. But what I got in response to that was, oh, I suck. So the already negative attitude towards it, I told them to just stay Destro.
Well, the thing is I don't think the DPS is too terrible for their gear. Like, Warlocks scale really hard gear.
On the gear, yeah, it's gear dependent really bad.
Like, well, I looked over, he was high up on the yes. Like, I saw him sitting up there at like B. Like, he was under Doom Forger on alt. Like,
You're cutting out.
yeah, it's because I'm like,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
He was looking at my screen so you could see, because I pulled up Pixie's gear.
yeah, and I was saying like 200's like really the low end of like the rating threshold. Like 200 is basically your barrier to entry into normal rating, because you could be getting that gear from the normal rate. Once you start getting into heroic gear, like 213 or whatever, that's when your item level is going to go up, and you're going to notice you're doing more damage because of that extra primary stats that you gain from 200 to 213 gear. Now the thing is I don't think he does mythic, so the only way he's going to get any better gear is either by getting pieces of gear in heroic or running mythic. And until he does that, his numbers are gonna stay kind of flat. Like, he might not be a master at his class, you know, but I don't think he doesn't perform decently.
Welcome, 3. I mean, congrats. Look. Yep, I'm losing it, man. I'm not an ice cream person, but I had such a bad taste for ice cream I had to have one.
I like frozen custard.
I don't know, I always liked that cone.
Or gelato.
That sounds good. I don't know what it is, but it sounds good.
An Italian ice cream.
Italian have good ice cream.
Who do you know is a really good warlock?
Billy.
Not me.
Huh?
Billy?
Not me. They can't play.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. Thank you.
Look.
I was like, I know there's somebody.
Chastity.
He's an asshole.
Who, Chasu?
No, Shasti.
Oh.
Our ex-leader.
I was gonna say, Shasu should be a freaking teaching people how to play paladins. Shasu is freaking awesome, man. Well, that's just my opinion. In patch 9.1, what would be the best cabinet for... With patch 9.1, what would be the best cabinet for Demon Hunter DPS? He can also help with DK. He has a really good DPS, DK.
Yeah. The problem is these people should be volunteering to do that. You shouldn't have to ask them, because of course if we ask them, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, sure. But when somebody says, "Oh yeah, sure," how is that really like dedication to wanting to help people? That's just they're helping people because you ask them to help people, not because they want to help. Which you kind of have to want to help people who have a hard time learning.
Yeah, unfortunately, not everybody's like us. But I mean, me, I can't consider because, you know, I mean, I can tell you basics, but
I don't really see any covenant changes, to the Demon Hunters.
oh, I was looking that up on my phone.
I'm looking at the patches.
Uh huh.
They are buffing, the Chaos Strike, and they're buffing the Demon's Bite.
Right. The thing is like I see more and more people going to Night Fae, and I am with Ventir.
Yes, a lot of the high-end Demon Hunters are converting. I would suggest that while we're waiting for the patch is the best time to kind of brainstorm if you want to switch covenants or not, and to jump on the bandwagon and get started getting your renown up. Because
That's what I'm thinking.
Because like the catch-up system is really easy, and you want to have that taken care of and caught up, so you can jump right into the next, to the 9.1 content.
Right. To be honest with you, I don't have a bad DPS on my Demon Hunter. She just needs gear.
They are nerfing a talent for the DPS Demon Hunter, Unbound Chaos. Instead of 600%, it's going to be 500%.
Unbound Chaos. That must be a talent.
They're changing the talent Demon Blaze. Currently, it makes your auto attacks have a 60% chance to deal additional shatter damage and generate fury. Then they're gonna they didn't say if they're gonna actually change it to just this or if they're gonna add this, but it says damage increased by 15%. So perhaps either it's have a 60% chance to do additional shadow damage and that damage is increased, or the or that damage increase is added.
Yeah, this Unbound Chaos. It's basically increases the damage of your next fell rush by 600.
Immolation aura.
Right, emulation aura, and I don't even have that spec'd in, so I don't really. Yeah, it's not gonna affect me.
For general changes for there is Covenant. There is one Covenant change, and it's Necrolord.
For who?
For the Demon Hunter. Now they're making it to where
Man.
Just because there's a change doesn't. It just means that they're trying to buff it because it's not sought after.
well, there's going to be some change to the Necrolord thing, but what they put here it says the same thing that's in the tooltip. Oh, now I'm reading it. This is the new one. But that still looks the same.
So I still think I should switch
Do
to
you have something called Annihilation? Annihilation. Isn't that like a generator? No.
Let me see if it's a talent.
It looks like you would have to be an ability that both DPS and tank demon hunters have.
Well, I don't see it in my book, and I don't see it in my.
Maybe it's an added spell or something? I don't know. It's just listed here that the damage of it is getting increased.
It starts with the A.
Yes.
No, my first one is a blade.
Probably like back.
They're making 2 tank abilities available to DPS. The Demonic Wards and Shattered Souls. They're allowing DPS to have it as well.
Boy. This Demon Lord, there's to be more on them. Especially in PvP.
Yeah. There are going to be new Covenant specific legendaries for demon hunters. Currently been here. There's a legendary called Agony Gaze, and it's going to make it to where your Simple Brand, which is your Venthyr ability, that you mark a target, and then if you go meta form, it spreads the mark. You know what I'm talking about, Carlos?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a legendary in 9.1 that's going to be added that makes it to where it increases the damage of Simple Brand 10%, and I-beam or Fell Devastation, depending on what spec you're in, damage increases the duration of the Simple Brand.
Huh.
But if you go with Night Fae, you use the ability called the Hunt. And the legendary will make it to where when you use the Hunt, it'll engulf you with Immolation Aura upon reaching your target, and then you gain 3% agility for 12 seconds for each enemy hit.
Damn.
That's nuts. That's why they're going Night Fae.
That's why they're going Night Fae. and I'm like halfway through, more than halfway through going to with
Ventier.
Ventier.
Honestly, with the catch-up system, you can get caught up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You just have to actually go do that character.
Well, I'm streaming, so it gets me something to do.
3.
Yes.
Do you want to hear about your paladin changes?
Sure.
He's not sure, really. He doesn't sound sure. He's like, I don't know if I want to hear this.
They are adding a legendary for, because you're Kyrian, right?
Yes.
So they're adding a legendary that makes it to where after you cast Divine Toll, you instantly cast Judgment every 5 seconds, and the effect lasts 30 seconds.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
That
But-
sounds a little broken, but okay.
is there better?
So basically, every 10 seconds after casting the Divine Toll, you cast it again at 20% effect.
Oh.
Is there a better covenant for the legendary for paladin healers?
I'm looking for Night Fae. Night Fae looks freaking complicated for Valley. What's the Venthyr one? I think Valleys go in between Kyrian and Venthyr. The
Yeah.
Venthyr one is that Ashen Hollow, that's that big red area.
Scary as fuck.
The Venthyr one, legendary, it makes it to where Ashen Hollow's duration is increased by 50%, and if you leave the area, the cooldown is reduced by up to 50%, proportional to its remaining duration.
Huh.
They got nothing on priests right now. They
How
find
about-
hunters.
Okay. I'm curious about
I mean, not
druids.
hunter, I mean warrior.
Yeah.
Nothing on Kyrian.
Go on about the for warriors.
Yeah, but I think a lot of warriors are switching to Necro.
Yeah.
And the Necro one, you have that banner. And the legendary is Glory, where banner affects one additional ally and every 10 for prot, 20 for Fury or Arms. Rage that you spend. So for you being prot, it's every 10 rage you spend while the banner's active increases the duration of your banner.
Okay. Let's just use my demoralizing choke, generate 40 rage, spend it, and I have
And the banner grants 400 mastery and 30% increased movement speed to you and your 2 nearest allies, and preventing movement speed from being reduced below 100%. That lasts 15 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. It also generates 4 rage per second.
The thing is, I still like that vials. I don't care. I
Yeah.
feel like it's useful. Like, Stewart is more than useful. Like, all they need to do is add a legendary that also makes, like Spirit Bastion is like quintessential for me. Like, and AoE pulse.
Somebody, I guess, maybe is like a top warrior. He said that the 3 recently revealed Covenant legendaries for Night Fae, Necrolord, and Venthyr all appear designed to double down on the strengths already established by the Covenant ability,
Yeah.
seemingly intended for players to further specialize their is all rather hypothetical though, because it doesn't matter if they're not tuned well enough to actually consider using them over what we already have. A Mythic Plus oriented player may choose Night Fae due to the advantages of First Strike, which is a soulbind ability where you damage an enemy before they damage you and it increases your chance to crit. And Ancient Aftershock, which is a covenant ability for Night Fae, where you unleash some AoE, and it's a knockdown, and then it does AoE after that for 12 seconds, and generates 16 rage per enemy